So yesterday I ended up getting pickpocketed here in the city of Manchester. Now, am I surprised that I got pickpocketed here in the city of Manchester? No, okay? The reason why I say no is because I know that we are in Europe, okay? So being in Europe, we know that Europe has a lot of problems when it comes to pickpocketing. And I think what we'll do, I think we'll walk and talk, and I'll tell you the story of how I was pickpocketed and what I'm going to be doing in order to try and prevent it going forward. It really is sad to think that people just cannot go out and enjoy a day out without becoming a victim of crime. Sadly, that is the world that we live in these days. And the only person who's responsible for your security, your home security, your family security, etc., is you. So guys, don't be neglecting your security, okay? I remember being in Castlefield. I'm in Castlefield, I've sent my DJI Phantom 3 Pro up. I'm getting some awesome shots of the city. And I mean real awesome shots, both photography and videography. Now the videos, can't wait to use them in my new video, which is where I walk and talk with the property investor Mohammed Ullah. Anyway, I land my drone after getting all these epic, awesome shots, and I pack up. Everything's good, and I start making my way towards Piccadilly Gardens. I'm walking down Deansgate. So I'm walking down Deansgate and I'm still looking up. I'm looking at the buildings, I'm looking at the cranes, I'm seeing all the movement of the cranes transferring materials about. I'm looking up the skyscrapers, I see builders hard at work inside, you know, the structures themselves. And I'm thinking, I want some of these shots. So I got out my Sony Handycam and I started collecting some B-roll of what it was I could see. Now, after I'd done all this, you got to remember, I'm living a dream. I'm getting all these epic visuals within my camera, and I'm just there blasting out some of my favorite music in my ears, okay? Again, thinking about it now, I must have been the prime target for a pickpocketer. Yeah? I'm in my world of my own. I'm totally oblivious to anything around me other than the visions it is that I want to visually capture in my camera. So again, I must have been the prime target for a pickpocketer. Anyway, move closer to Piccadilly Gardens. I decide to go in and get a meal deal. So I go into Tesco's and I get the meal deal. And when I come out to Tesco's and I go to sit down in Piccadilly Gardens, I then realise something. When I take my backpack off my back, I notice that my DJI Mavic Mini 3 controller is nearly fallen out of my backpack. My first thought was, somebody has been in my bag. And then I put the controller away, and then I sat down and I opened up my bag, and I had a look in my bag, and everything seemed to be there. But even though everything seemed to be there, and you know, obviously my controller had not fell out, I could not help say to myself, something's missing. I feel that something is missing. Even though my bag looked full, I kept on saying to myself, something is missing. I convinced myself nothing was missing. My GoPro Hero 11 was there. My DJI Spark was there. My DJI Mavic Mini 3 was there. My pickpocket 3 camera was there. My drone batteries was there. So again, everything to me was there. So I continued enjoying my day. And then when I got home later at night, I went to go get my GoPro filter to recharge it from my GoPro. And that's when it hit me. My GoPro filter had been pickpocketed. So now that I know it was the GoPro photo that was pickpocketed, then how did I feel? Honestly, guys, I felt relieved. What's this? How did I feel relieved about the pickpocketing and stealing my GoPro photo? Guys, in effect, what the pickpocketer has managed to obtain is 1, a power bank, and 2, a remote control. Honestly, guys, if anything was to go out of my bag to a pickpocketer, then it would be a GoPro photo. Yes, it is an expensive remote control or an expensive power bank, because let's face it, that's what the GoPro photo does. It's 1, a power bank, and 2, it's a remote control. Now here's the thing, if these guys would have gone access to my DJI Phantom 3 Pro, which had valuable B-roll video footage on it that I'm going to be using for my friend's new video, which I'm making, Walk and Talk with Mohammed Ullah, then guys, you know what? I would have been absolutely devastated. But the simple fact is, knowing that these criminals were only able to access, you know, the GoPro photo, was to me relief. Okay, it was absolute relief, because they could have had this GoPro Hero 11, they could have had my Pickpocket 3, you know, they could have had the DJI Spark, they could have had the DJI Mavic Mini 3 Pro, its combo batteries, mate, they could have had like $2,000 worth of equipment. But the simple fact is, they maximum got about, what, let's say a GoPro photo, £129, okay? So they got the GoPro photo, I got to keep everything else. So let's now talk about protection. Protection. So let's think about protection with regards to your property when you're traveling or out and about walking around a city. So guys, look at my example, yeah? I'm walking around, I'm listening to earphones, I'm looking up at buildings, I'm not looking at people, and instead I'm just looking at my entire environment because of my media project. Now let's say I wanted to cross the road. So I stop, all the cars go. Guys, think about the pickpocketer. Perfect opportunity to strike. Look in my bag. There we go. They've opened up my zip. I'm not going to feel that. It's on my back. But guess what? Now the pickpocketer has access to $2,000 worth of equipment. Let me drop it down. Look at this. You see? They can just drop it down, and that's $2,000 worth of equipment they had access to. So let's bring it back again. One more time. I stop. I'm going to cross the road. Pickpocketer. There we go. Now, this pocket here, which was where my GoPro photo was, so they've obviously put their hand in, taken it out, and I'm never going to see my GoPro photo again. But as you can see, guys, that pocket is now empty. Now, I'm thinking that they may have also tried to get their hands in here and take my DJI remote, but something must have happened. I must have like started to move, and you know, they've had to abort their pickpocketing. But guys, let's talk about simply how you can secure your property. And let me show you the answer. It is one of these. If I had one of these guys yesterday, I can guarantee you I would still have my GoPro photo, and I would not have been pickpocketed. Let me show you. Right, so here we go. If I would have had one of these locks on, then they would not have the opportunity to zip my bag. You see this, guys? Look at that. That lock, to me, provides you with enough time to basically avoid being pickpocketed when you're traveling or out and about in a city. You got to remember that pickpocketers, they want to do it so fast, and that's what they'll do. They'll look for somebody who's vulnerable. Now, yesterday, I was the prime victim for them because one, I wasn't paying attention to people. Instead, I was paying attention to the environment, and also I couldn't hear anything, so I was listening to my music. But guys, seriously, I think one of these locks would have saved my GoPro photo, but unfortunately, I did not have it. So that's why today I bought these locks, and now I'm out and about again. Yeah, I can replace the GoPro photo, which, thank you to Amazon, will be delivered to me on Tuesday. But again, guys, I would say, if you're going out with your equipment, get some of these locks and make sure you don't give the pickpocketers access easily to your belongings. So there you go. I know it's such a simple thing, but I truthfully believe that if I had that little padlock yesterday, then I would still have my GoPro photo. But no, I was walking around the city with my backpack, easily for someone just to come along and unzip it and then just put their hands in and tick what they want. Now in my case, I was lucky due to the fact that they only got a GoPro photo. Again, it could have been worse. They could have had my GoPro Hero 11, they could have had my Spark, my Mavic Mini 3 Pro, etc, etc. This is the life. Sunny Manchester. It's an absolutely beautiful, hot day in Manchester. You actually wouldn't think it's Manchester. You'd probably think it's more like Spain or southern France. It's that hot. A lot of people are about, just going about, doing their own business. And again, it's quite saddening to know that these pickpockets linger in our society, just preying on vulnerable people. You know, I'm just wondering, I wonder what they're going to do with that GoPro photo. Are they going to sell it? They're going to use it to charge their mobile phone? I got honestly, guys, I am so lucky. I am so lucky that it was just a GoPro photo that I did lose. So let's talk about photography and accessing your camera. That's the beauty about this bag. This is the reason why I bought this bag, because this bag here allows me quick access to my camera gear, and it's all in separate places. So everything's got a home. So as you can see, guys, I've got very quick access to my equipment. And that's because being a photographer or a cameraman, everything's very time critical. So for example, let's say you're out, I don't know, hiking in a countryside and you see an animal. It could be a deer, it could be a bird, wherever, and you need your camera, okay? But your camera's in your backpack. Here we go. As you can see, you've got access to your camera, you can take the shots, put your camera away, and off you go. So as you can see, that's the whole reason why I got this backpack. The problem is that, as we already know, we'll say it again, the pickpockets, they love quick access to bags too. So if it takes me that amount of time to access my camera, that's the same amount of time it takes for a pickpocket to access your camera too. Which again is why I suggest everybody gets some of these padlocks, okay? Carry some of these padlocks, and then that makes things a lot more difficult for anybody who may want to gain access to your kit. Have a look at this now. So as you can see, it's a lot harder for them to access your kit. And by the time they start faffing around with it, you're probably thinking that somebody's messing with your kit. So yeah, guys, seriously, if you're going to travel, you know, get some of these locks. This is the only thing I can really recommend.